Hi guys, thanks for joining us. We're just going to do a quick stream. It's myself and this gentleman here, Mr. Andy Miles. It's just a real quick stream. Just we rocked up at Aveley yesterday, didn't we, Milesy? We saw the under 18s play. We just thought we'd do a quick stream and just give people at home that may not be familiar with a lot of the players a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. Like you said, I weren't planning on going, and then it was a late show, and then you didn't know about that. You thought it was the under 23s, but I knew it was the under 18s. So yeah, we had a bit of a confusion, but no, mate, it was an enjoyable evening. It really was.
Confusion just is part of the deal, isn't it? Confusion goes with the territory.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. It's just, it's a lovely ground, though. I do love Aveley's ground. It's a lovely ground to be there. But no, yeah, it was very confusing. Met some West Ham greats as well on both touchlines. So yeah, well, not when I say met, I say see them, and it was nice to.
Yeah,
it was just nice to. I know you went on Saturday, but it was just nice to be back in a football stadium. It was.
Before we get into it, Milesy. Just before we get into it, sorry to interrupt. For anybody that's watching that's new to the channel, please, thank you for coming along. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon to be notified of any new content as and when we upload it to the channel, which we're doing today. I wasn't too sure whether we were going to do this, and in the end I thought, do you know what, stuff it, let's do it. So just to give people a little bit of context, so the under 18s yesterday, they played at Aveley, just the other side of the water from myself, through the Dartford crossing. And they were playing a Haybridge Swifts team who play in the Isthmian League North, I do believe, wasn't it? We saw yesterday, Milesy?
Yeah, that's correct.
Which I think is around about step 8, step 7, somewhere like that on the Football League pyramid. So just to give people at home a little bit of context, they weren't playing Barcelona or anything like that, but they weren't playing the Dog and Duck 11 either. So, you know, they were playing a men's team. They were managed by Julian Dix, as you've hinted at earlier, and the under 18s are coached by Kevin Keane. So it's two former teammates that were on the opposition, in the opposition dugouts. So just give us just to give the guys and girls at home just sort of like a brief synopsis on how things went. So the starting lineups, you've got them on the what's name, haven't you, Milesy? I'll just get that on the right. Okay, so now a lot of these names will probably not be terribly familiar with a lot of the people watching this stream, and that's fine, because to be perfectly honest with you, most of them weren't familiar to me. I don't know about yourself, Milesy. Were any of these lads people you sort of familiar with?
The only one I've heard is on X's podcast is Archie Woods, the number 7. Yep. He's very highly rated, and I think that's all I know pretty much. As you said, Noble's getting involved with not just the under 10s or whatever. Noble's getting involved in the coaching staff, and I think Noble rates him highly. That's where X got his info from. But no, apart from that I didn't know anyone else, and I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No, I didn't either. It was quite an education to see some of the kids. And we'll come on to who were the players that we thought stood out. And again, like I say, for context, you know, I'm not saying that any of these kids will necessarily be knocking on David Moyes' door as a result of them getting a thumbs up from us and saying, oi, that lot on Fulsham said that, you know, I played well against Heybridge Swifts in a pre-season friendly. I want to be playing against Newcastle. It's not going to happen.
It sounds more like a drink. Footballers' wives. That's what the football club sounds like.
But yeah, so just looking there, the goalkeeper was a young lad called Jacob Knightsbridge. And to be fair, I thought he looked pretty decent. Asher Falaise wore number 2. Regan Clayton was 3. Billy Bates wore the number 4 shirt, and I'm going to talk about him in a little bit. And I think you're probably going to mention him as well, Milesy. Number 5 was Caelan Casey. 6 was Michael Forbes. 7 was the aforementioned Archie Woods, who, yeah, a lot of good things have been said about him. Then the number 9, sorry, the number 8, number dyslexia, what can you do? Number 8 was Lewis Orford. 9 was Divin Mubuma. And number 10, it says Remy, his surname is Coddington. And number 11 was George Earthy. So that was the starting lineup, wasn't it, Milesy? So we were sitting there watching it. There was you, me, and my daughter was there. We was all watching it. And you know, we up to the point, because we actually took the lead after 16 minutes. I think, to be fair, and we discussed it sort of like whilst we was watching it unfold, they actually played some really good stuff, to be fair, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I don't know. We were saying it about it's like you can tell Kevin Keane on whatever, they're drilled young compared to what a 50. Like even at the back on a goal kick, they were playing it short, not afraid to play it in the centre. Archie was very, very involved from the start. Really wants the ball and ping the ball left to right. But no, it was just great to watch. It was great to watch. They all knew. Don't get me wrong, like we heard Kevin Keane a lot shouting, but they listened and they played very well. So the goalkeeper you mentioned, he done some. The goalkeeper, he played very well. He played very well. So I was very happy with the way we played, to be honest. Oh, Gates is gone. Yeah, so but no, I wasn't really too sure what formation we were playing, to be honest. It looked like a back 3 when we were attacking and a back 5 when we weren't. But no, everyone wanted the ball, and yeah, no, it went very well. So but yeah, no, everyone played well. Oh, you're back.
Has your sound dropped out, Milesy?
Can you not hear me?
Oh, there, that's better. It's all right. A few little technical issues, but there you go. I've got you back now, mate.
Yeah, cool. Oh, there we go. But no, I was just saying, mate. I wasn't really too sure of the formation, to be honest, because when we were attacking, it was a back 3. It looked like 3-5.
Yeah.
2, yeah. But no, everyone played.
Or 3-5-1-1. I don't know. It was something. It looked like they were operating with 3 centre backs. To me, I'm guessing you had the same impression, did you, Milesy?
Yeah, that's what I said. When we were attacking, it was a 3, and then at the back, and then when we were defending, it was a 5. But the one thing I will say, mate, is bear in mind these. I don't know everyone's ages. I know they're under 18s, but I don't know what ages they are. But some of them were big built. The opposition, they were men, and they stood up well and weren't afraid to put in a tackle. So no, everyone. The one in particular, I might as well get onto him, was the number 4, Billy Bates. You mentioned the man, and he was exactly the same as him as well, and he could ping a pass as well, and he reminded me. And he's Ginger Pele. Very good on the ball. Very good on the ball.
He didn't seem to have any fear about bringing the ball out. And again, I appreciate it. It was Heybridge Swifts. It wasn't sort of like, you know, it wasn't Manchester United they were playing. So, you know, everything in context. But he can only play against the team that he's put in front of. And I thought he had a good range of passing. He was strong. He was quick enough. Wasn't sort of lightning fast, but he was quick enough, you know, to come back on the cover and sort of like dig his teammates out when necessary. And he wasn't afraid to bring the ball out from defence into sort of like midfield areas.
No, and everyone wanted the ball, mate. There was no one shying away, especially in the first half. And like you said, pinging the ball from left to right. I think in the first half we gave Swifts a really good footballing lesson. In my opinion, I didn't think they expected us to be that good. They had a lot of space on their left, but they didn't really cause us a threat. And I think the game plan worked. And as we said, we got off to a great start. 16 minutes, 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, as it sort of shows there on the graphic, Divin Mubama. I apologise. I have probably just mangled his surname. Divin Mubama. There we go. Okay, you see, there's two footballs there. He scored both of West Ham's goals. He got the first goal 16 minutes in. He then followed it up with his second goal a matter of 4 minutes later. And that was how the score stayed up to half time. And I mean, like I say, we've touched on it. You know, they played some really good football in that first half. And to be honest with you, I thought they were going to go on and dominate the rest of the game. But the problem sometimes is that you've obviously got subs on the bench. It's a pre-season friendly. You want to give certain players a run out. I'm not too sure if any of the players that were on the bench were trialists or you know what the situation was, but they had a load of substitutes on the bench. They're bringing players on in the second half, and as sort of like the game progressed, I felt it kind of stunted West Ham's momentum in that match. I don't know, did you feel the same?
Yeah, I did, mate, and I think it was more up front more than anything else. Remy and Divin were causing them so much damage with their movement. One was coming short. Both of them were very quick. One was running in behind, and they didn't know how to deal with it. And then the two changes what they made at half time, don't get me wrong, the centre half who Swiss brought on weren't exactly small either. And I think the reason Julian brought him
a giant, wasn't he?
Yeah, what was he, about 6'4", 6'5", and
when he come on, I mean, he was wearing a pair of shorts, and I said to you, it's like they weren't football shorts; they were like cycling shorts on him. His thighs were huge. I mean, he made Neil Ruddock look small.
But no, I think that sort of changed the game as well. And they must have changed the fullback at half time, Gatesy, because the fullback, their fullback wasn't involved in the first half, was he? Unless he was just being very cautious, but he was their biggest threat, I thought, on the right, the fullback, the number 2. So, yeah, it's the game sort of drifted out. But yeah, like you said, sorry if anyone knows the substitute goalkeeper who come on, but it seemed to be when he went off, it sort of went a bit downhill as well. But I'm not just saying that it was because of the goalkeeper, but it was a change of system as well. But the one thing I will say is they didn't shy away. Even when the one goal went in, they didn't shy away and they still wanted to play. Should we call it the West Ham way?
Yeah, well, we've seen it many times over the years. So we're in the second half. There's a lot of substitutions that are made on both sides. We get to the 72nd minute, and as you sort of like alluded to, there was a number of changes, one of which was the goalkeeper, Billy Bates. So from recollection, he came off at half time. There was really a number of changes that were made, and as I say, I don't think that they helped. It's a non-competitive game, it's a friendly. It's not about the result. It's about everyone getting minutes under their belt, and about Kevin Keane and his coaching staff finding out about what players can do, what they can't do, whether they're good enough, not good enough, if they're trialists, whatever. And we got to the 72nd minute, and there was a goal that we thought was probably no more than a consolation at that point, Milesy.
Yeah, no, it was slightly unfortunate, but it's sort of a bit of our own downfall, really. Like you said, trying to play out from the back and then an unnecessary throw in what we conceded right in our half, and then they managed to get through. But like you said, mate, these kids are young and they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn, and it was a good. God, these people, and he's not even been up long, has he, Fo? Christ. But no, they'll learn, and like you said, Dixie and people like that will talk about what happens further on, but you could just see what they were doing at the end of the game. Especially, like you said, Archie I think Archie played most of the game, didn't he? I think he come on probably with about
Didn't
10
he
minutes.
play all of it?
Or was it the number
Or
8
more
then
or
who
less
come
all
off?
of it?
Or was it the number 8 then who come off late? Because the centers were heavily involved.
Yeah.
Sorry if we're so. It was less than 24 hours ago, but my mind's sort of gone a bit as well.
Blame it
But
on the heat. Blame it
yeah,
on the heat.
and
But no,
the rain shower.
I thought he had a cracking game. To be fair, Archie Woods. I thought. I mean, I'll get this out of the way now. For me, there were 3 players that stood out in claret and blue, and they were Billy Bates, Archie Woods, and Divin Mubama. They were the 3 players that I looked at and thought maybe. Like I say, I appreciate it's a pre-season friendly. I appreciate it's against a team that operates at tier 7, tier 8, wherever they are. But against a team of men, they're under 18s. Against a team of men, they were the 3 that I looked at and went, do you know, I'd like to see these 3 again. I'd like to see these 3 tested, maybe against a slightly better team. I mean, like the team that the 23s played on Saturday that Duke and I went to, they played Ebbsfleet. I'd actually quite like to see them play against a team that plays tier 5, tier 6, you know, test them against a slightly better opposition. If they can play to that sort of standard, then I'd be sort of like looking and going, right, okay, maybe these 3 need to be sort of like given a bit more, you know, loan them out to a League 2, League 1 club, see how they get on.
Yeah. And the one for me, Gatesy, as well, was the goalkeeper for me. I thought he was brilliant. He had a couple of saves when he was tested. How commanding was he for a box? Jumping through a few players, catching the ball from corners. Yeah, he stood out for me as well. But no.
Well, yeah, his replacement, not so much.
No. Do we have to talk about?
Listen, he's a kid, and it might be. I don't know the young lad's name, unfortunately, because do you know the really disappointing thing that obviously I've been to the 2 pre-season friendlies against the for the 23s against Ebbsfleet just down the road from me, and the 18s yesterday, which you was with against Swifts. And both times there was no announcement over the tannoy of what the teams were. Just absolute joke. It's like, so if you rocked up and you didn't have a clue too much about 23s or 18s, you've basically got to work it out for yourself, which is not really very user friendly. I think it's safe to say, Milesy.
No, it's not, mate. It's not, and it's it's a bit of. It's quite bad, really, when you think about it. Like you said, especially But there was a few people in who are sort of knew him. Do you know what I mean? I think there was a few mates maybe and stuff like that who sort of knew him and cheering him on. But no, it's just, like I said it at the start, mate. It was just refreshing to go and see a game of football again. I know you've had the opportunity, but. Do we want to talk about the rest?
Well, 87 minutes gone. We're still at 2-1, but Haybridge Swifts get a free kick. Now, I don't know if this fella's a bit of a free kick expert for Swifts, but his name was Jack Adlington Pyle. Remember the name. But they got a free kick. Well, what was it? A good 20 odd yards out.
Probably
20, 25.
Yeah.
More equaliser. He's hit 20. This shot. Yeah, hit a shot, and fair enough, it was powerful, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. Now, for me, the goalkeeper's got to do one or 2 things. He's either got to catch it, make it stick, or if he knows that there's too much on it, then he's got to sort of like push it over for a corner, push it wide for a corner, defend the set piece, not a problem. He did neither. He sort of like he got his hands to it, but he seemed to pat it forwards into the path of the on-rushing Adam Topley, who equalised with 3 minutes to go, and there was just this sinking feeling, wasn't there, Milesy?
Yeah. The one thing I will say is the way they were celebrating, mate. It was like it was an FA Cup final. scoring goals. I don't know about you, but we'll get onto it. I know it's a friendly match, but they were taking it very like. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm not saying that you shouldn't celebrate, but like they're playing a bunch of kids and they're struggling. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it was celebrated with a great deal of enthusiasm. And to be fair, I think at that point, I sort of thought, well, do you know what? If they get a 2-2 draw against a men's team and they were all right, they got pegged back from 2-0 up. But do you know what? The experience, obviously, that they're playing against, that wouldn't actually be the worst result in the world. But 3 minutes later, what happens? There's another free kick, similar sort of position as I recollect to the first one, wasn't it, Milesy?
Yeah, just a bit more to the left, wasn't it? A bit more to the left-hand side, more central. But
yeah, similar sort of range.
But can't take nothing away from it. I'm just going to say how it is. It was like Ronaldo-esque. Keeper got a touch onto it, but the same sort of technique, short run up, hit the knuckleball, but yeah, they celebrated, and yeah, you can't take nothing away from the strike, to be honest.
No, it was a cracking. As I say, the young lad's name was Jack Adlington Pyle, double-barreled surname. And yeah, he hit that, and I do look at it and think, yes, it was a sweetly hit free kick, but the goalkeeper had to do better for me. As I say, I don't want to do the kid down. Maybe he just had a bad day. It happens. But I do think that the equaliser and the winner, the 2 goals, I think, and to be fair, probably the goalkeeper will reflect on it and probably think the same thing that I'm saying, that he should have done better.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. But like they said, that they should take a lot of pride. They should take a lot of pride. Very, very, very good. And like you said, compared to what it was like at half time on Saturday, what Duke heard, that there was no shouting at the end. They all huddled at the end, and
no,
like you said, the opposition gave them a lot of respect as well. So no, I am. Sorry, the number 5 has just come to me now, wasn't it? Casey with a double cramp.
Right at the end, yes, he did.
In both legs at the same time. Bless him.
Physio had to come on and give him a little bit of tender, loving care. Oh, poor love.
But no, Gatesy, while we've been talking, we were saying that we want to go to a lot of games. They're actually the under 23s are actually playing Southend on Friday night at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to look into that in some ticket. So we might be on tour again. We might be on tour again.
I might have some of that.
And,
I might have some of that. 7 o'clock. And under 18s finish early on a Friday.
Yeah, and the under 18s are playing Millwall on Saturday.
Yes, that's at Little Heath, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not too sure, so I'm going to look into that as well.
I think I read that yesterday. I think they're playing at Little Heath. I don't know whether they've got spectators or not. But yeah, I mean, I want to try and get to a few more of the sort of like the academy games, the 18s and the 23s, because it'd be quite nice to sort of like, when someone turns around and says about a prospect coming through, it'd be quite nice for me, rather than me just sort of saying, oh, I've heard good things about him or this, that and the other. It'd be quite nice for me to go and say, yes, I agree, or actually I disagree, and here's the reason why. In this last 18 months, none of us have seen any live football really, for any real length of time. So, yeah, I mean, the Southend game, I might well pop along to that. I don't know if your game, Milesy.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. Definitely sounds good to me. With regards to...
Neil's just saying that his grandson played with... I'll just get it back up. He texts to say... Neil says his grandson is 16. He says he bet he played with some of these. He was in the West Ham Academy. And then his second message, he says he's just texted him. He reckons Archie Woods was a good year above him. So, as I say, he looked a good player, Neil. In my opinion, Milesy as well. We both looked at him and went, decent. He looked decent. Again, it's, you know, against a sort of like a low ranked men's team, but it is a men's team. You know, the experience, the physicality. You know, they should be a sort of like a higher sort of like level than what these kids are fundamentally. But yeah, I'd quite like to see those three well, four, as I say, if you want to include the goalkeeper, Jacob Knightsbridge, Billy Bates, Jacob Knightsbridge, Archie Woods, and Divin Mubama. They would be the four out of the players that I saw yesterday. I don't know if they're the four that you would probably pick out. But they would be the ones I would be sort of like saying, right, try and see how they go against a better standard.
Yeah, I'm going to give the number 5. That's going to be my 5 standout. I'm going to give him a bit of credit as well. In the first half, with him in the centre of the 3, I thought he had a good game as well. They're both. So yeah, like I said, it was a good it was a good day out, mate. And like I said, we want to do more videos, and if we can get to more of the games, we can. And like you said, the knowledge, especially with the teams coming out. So yeah.
Now you've sent me in the private chat. You've got the Reading team. For anyone that's hanging around, you've got the team that's going out against Reading in about half an hour's time, I believe.
Yeah, and it's free to stream. It's free to stream on the West Ham website, so you can watch the game as well.
Yes. So yeah, that's why I wanted to get this done and dusted.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. And yeah, no, very strong team. It's good to see Ben Rama's back on the bench, but I'll give you the starting 11. So it is Randolph in goal.
I'll just get it up on.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just. Sorry, Happy. I'm just going to take your comment off.
Yeah. Yeah. So Randolph in goal. Fredericks, Johnson, Diop, and Dawson. So that probably sounds like Johnson's at left back, doesn't it? Yeah, that's probably come out.
Yeah.
And then Noble, Coventry, Oxo, Flex, Bowen, Fornells, and Antonio. And on the bench, another strong bench: Martin, Creswell, Bonner, Baptiste, Alves, Fulson. I've heard good things about him. Another player. Oh, is it Ek? Oh, I don't know.
Ekwa, he's the kid that we got from Chelsea.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Ekwa.
Yeah, Holland, Lanzini, Ben Rama, and Odubeku. So, yeah, it's quite a few names. And I just had a look. It was released roughly when the players are going to return. So Fabianski returned to training yesterday, I believe, after the Euros, and I think Souček and Soufal are back next Monday. And no, they're back. Yeah, they're back next Monday, and then Rice is back on the 7th of August, a week before the Premier League, apparently. That's when he's expected to be back, so he must be getting a very well-deserved break. But yeah, no, I would love to do a watch-along, but I think I'm out of practice, to be perfectly honest. I think
the thing with watch-alongs, I got to be honest, Happy. The thing that kind of puts me off, and I don't know about you, Milesy, is I kind of feel like I can't maybe say what I want to say, what I ordinarily would say, because there could be people watching that might get offended by some of my language, which can get a bit industrial. And also, you know, it means I've got to have the sound off, because otherwise we get a copyright strike and all that sort of thing, you know. And I'd like to just be able to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, my hat's off to people that do it, like Charlie when he does the watch-alongs on Hammer's Chat, you know, that he gives up his time and all the rest of it, you know. But I just sort of think fundamentally he can't maybe sit there and be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just open with, you know, with his, you know, because if something happens and he wants to sort of like scream at the telly, which we all do, you know, someone misplaces a pass and you start hooting and hollering and all the rest of it, but you've got to sort of like kind of put the handbrake on, because it's like, well, you know, there's people watching and you don't want to sort of like go full on industrial language sort of thing, you know, every sort of like other word. So yeah, we might do it one day, Happy. I'm not sort of I'm not completely writing it off, but it's just one of those things that I sort of think, do I want to do it?
I'll tell you what we'll do. Because I'm definitely watching the game. We'll do the review of the game tomorrow. If you're happy, if you're not doing anything
What, the
tomorrow,
Reading
Jake.
game?
Yeah, we'll do a review tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
if you guys all want to join us, you know, we got Happy, we got Fo, got Neil, so all the lads and lasses that want to sort of like jump on and sort of jump in with any of their comments. Jordan, who was in here earlier, so you know, yeah, why not? What we got here? What's she doing? How dare you put your wants before Isaac? I'm sorry, Happy, but as I say, listen, I'm probably doing you a favour because you'd have to put up with my really coarse language when I'm doing a stream like this. I do try and keep a bit of a lid on the sort of like the industrial Gatesy.
I sometimes I'll do a little swear word even on screen, so I don't really think a watch along might be good for my health. But if anyone is wondering, I'll just sorry, I know we're rubbing it on. It's about the under 23s, but we're having a summer break ish for Hammer Time. We've come to the conclusion with a lot of stuff what's going on with holidays and stuff like that. So Hammer Time is suspended, but we'll give you enough notice to put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
For
just
a
on a little
5-hour
hiatus. It isn't dead, but you know, far from it. Because you know, I think generally the people that watch it enjoy it, and we enjoy doing it. But we're just having a little break. If anyone's been wondering, oh, they haven't done Hammer Time the last couple of weeks. We're just having a break. We're just hitting the pause button. We were doing a lot of stuff with the Euros and whatever, and it's. I'll be honest, it takes up a lot of your time. It takes up a lot of energy. You know, I mean, I can sort of say for myself, you know, doing not just the streams, but doing all the prep, doing thumbnails and sort of like various little bits and pieces that we do to try and sort of like fill in the blanks for people that might not have certain nuggets of information. You know, it takes up a lot of time, and I just need a break. Oh, you got a little bit of news about that, haven't you?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard about this, Happy.
Yeah, so unfortunately it got rescheduled, but we got an announcement. Well, I didn't get an email because I ain't even got a ticket myself. It's been cancelled, the event, until they can get a further date. Which is
I'm guessing it's COVID, but I don't know. Yeah, I had my 90 quid because I paid for my ticket. I had my 90 quid refunded. So how many tickets did you actually get sold? I think it was 3, you said.
3 or 4, I think, mate. So yeah, I'm going to get in touch with them again this week to let them know. It was only because, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. I have been slacking. I'm not going to lie, especially with work and stuff like that. It's sort of.
So I'm guessing from that comment from Happy that she's one of the girls that's that bought a ticket for that. I'm guessing.
She didn't send a screenshot unless I missed it. Sorry.
Don't know.
I've only got
Happy. If you did, let Milesy know. You know his Twitter DM. So just drop him a message and sort of like if you got a hang on. What's this? Fo says he's made his goals for Isla. Cheers, Fo. Appreciate it. You're an absolute gentleman.
Wow.
All 3 goalkeepers at Newcastle are isolating, but I think do they only have to isolate now for 10 days? So that's not going to impact much on the
5 days. If you if you pay for a test, you can come out of isolation if it's negative after 5 days now.
Happy's not sure whether she got a ticket. She says she's sure she did, but there's a question mark there. So
I haven't got a screenshot of a payment.
As I say, Happy, yeah. I mean, like I say, that's your baby, Milesy. So I'm not sort of too involved in that. Other than, but Happy, send him a message. Was it at Andrew Miles 1991? Isn't it on Twitter?
Yeah, I think don't put me on the spot.
And
Andrew Miles 1991.
If you got sort of like a screenshot or any anything to corroborate that you paid for a raffle ticket that for now has bit the dust for things completely out of our control. I mean, as I say, I'd actually paid for my ticket. I was going. I'd taken the day off of work. I was brilliant. You know, I'd got me suit pressed, and I'd got a finest bottle of Brut to slap round me chops and really impress people. And it all went and bit the dust. All went and bit the dust.
My dinner is getting ruined, and I know we said we're only going to do 20 minutes, and I'm very hungry.
You know what, my kids said that when I turned around and said, "Oh, we'll probably only be doing it for 20 minutes," and they're like, "Yeah, right." So, but no, I mean, like I say, it was really enjoyable watching the 18s.
As you can see, the sweat is rather warm. Yeah.
But no, watching the 18s, it was a good experience. And listen, Fo, don't. There's nothing wrong with a bit of Brut. Let me tell you, my mother-in-law hates it.
You should see the smell of the one he had yesterday.
oh, hang on, Mike's waded in. He's saying the Old Spice. Now, the Old Spice, that was my late father-in-law's choice of aftershave. I don't think his wife, my mother-in-law, I'm not too sure whether she was that keen on it. But as I say, I know my mother-in-law hates Brut. So as a little bit of an in joke, I'll always sort of, when we're going around there, I'll slap a load of Brut round my chops and go wandering up to her and go, "You're right, Anne," and sort of go up and give her sort of like a hug or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, no." She hates it. But no, we'll, like I say, we might well rock up to Roots Hall. So if we do, guys, we'll give you a review of that and give you a little bit of a heads up on any players that stood out. As I say, I'll be brutally honest, the 23s, no one really stood out. Maybe Nathan Holland, but that's possibly being very, very generous. But certainly for the 18s, the four, well, you said there was 5 that you really identified, wasn't there, Milesy?
Yeah, the goalkeeper.
So Knightsbridge,
Bates, Casey,
yeah,
Woods, and the striker. Can't remember his name now. Sorry, I'm just checking.
Mubama, Divin.
That's the one.
He does, Ken. Yes, he does. Good knowledge. Good knowledge. I knew I liked you. Yeah. Now, Del Boy did carry an emergency capsule of Brut around with him. And listen, Happy, she's doing very well as far as the son-in-law stakes are concerned. In fact, I can say without any fear of contradiction that I am her favourite son-in-law. I'm not saying how I know this. I'm just saying that I know that I'm her favourite son-in-law. Like my daughter's my favourite daughter.
Well said, Gatesy.
Apparently, you said Kent's asking when are we playing Southend. You said it was Friday, didn't you?
Friday, the
23s.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So if you're not doing anything, Kent, you know, it's not a million miles away. Just through the tunnel and head right, and
Southend.
I might have a little wander over there. My sister-in-law lives in Southend. My mother-in-law lives in Benfleet. My brother sometimes lives in Shoeburyness. So I might head on over there and maybe sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So, but yeah.
We'll keep you updated.
Yes, you've worked it out. He worked it out. Of course, I'm the only son-in-law. I'm the only one mad enough to marry into that bloody family.
Oh, there we go. Southend's up the road from Happy as well. There we go. Should we make it full stay out?
Come along. Come along. What could possibly go wrong? But no, let's say so. The 18s. There's a couple of players there I want to keep my eye on. So hopefully going forwards, if we can get to a few more games, or maybe even the players, who knows, get promoted to the 23s, and maybe even one day one of these players that we've identified actually goes out and plays a first team match, we can turn around and go, do you know what? We saw him play in a pre-season friendly where there was only a couple of 100 people there. Happy, I am sorry to hear that, and I dare say that you're not happy with that. That is not good.
That's not good.
Not
good. Right.
There you go. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. If any of you people out there haven't already done so, and I'm sure you have, but in case you haven't, do us a favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that bell icon to be notified of any new content. Tell your friends we're here, you know, a little bit of love, spread the love. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to disappear now, guys, and so is Milesy, because we're going to go and watch the Reading West Ham game. Hopefully that will be a decent outing. Oh, mate, how the other half live. How the other half live. But hopefully, like I say, we'll do some more little snippets, little bits of our opinion on under 18s and under 23s matches as and when we go to it. Just a little bit of extra sort of content for you guys that maybe don't get the opportunity to see them. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks very much indeed. Milesy, what would you like to say to the watching millions?
We are fucking massive. That's full Tremaine. As always. That's full Tremaine.
That's it. Anyway, thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, stay cool, and come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.